Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Catalina and I'm the person behind by Catalina Designs, and in this video we will talk about what I was working on since our last chat. So there are several projects that you already saw in the previous videos, but there are some new things that I just started and I want to show them to you and talk with you about them, because from some of them I have some questions for you. So since our last chat, I was talking that I was waiting for the soft season cardigan to be released on the hobby website, because afterwards I could publish it on my website and in my shops and here on YouTube for the tutorial. So I have to say that last week this happened finally, so I managed to publish this pattern on my usual platforms and here on YouTube. So make sure if you want to try the soft season cardigan, you can check the links in my description, because I will put all the pattern links and tutorial link over there. So this was something that I was saying, okay, phew, I did it and I was able to check this thing, because I couldn't wait to share with you this pattern, because what I love the most about this cardigan is that it's super wearable. So when I'm trying to design something, I'm always thinking if I should wear it, because it's about the things that I would like to wear. And my personal style, or I don't know even if it's a style or not, but I do like to wear simple things, simple colors. Maybe I'm getting older, I don't know, but I'm all in for simple stitches, simple designs, but also with those details that make a thing sophisticated and also give us crocheters a bit of challenge, you know. So in the end we feel really happy with our end result. So yeah, this was one thing. Then I was talking with you in our previous chat that I started sunset sweater in that mohair mixture, whatever cakes that I made. And in the end I wasn't really happy with the result, because there were some straps over there, but at some point, because the sleeve is getting bigger and bigger, those stripes are smaller, thinner. So I really didn't like that really much. But I'm thinking to use that yarn in a different project, but will be really a challenge to undo everything. So I was saying last time that maybe I will try to use this, come on, illusion from Lang, because it's like a changing color yarn, and I said that it will be perfect. And I started to work on the sleeve already, but I have to admit that I put aside this project because yeah, I started to work on something else. So this yarn is a mix of cotton and bamboo. So it's like a summery yarn, that's why maybe I put it on hold, but it will be perfect for this transitional season that we are getting through, unless the cold season doesn't want to come earlier. So I put this on hold. It's like, I think I'm like half of the sleeve maybe, because this will have to be a little bit longer. I do have some adjustments that I did. So for this one I started to also increase here in the middle. On the original design it was only increases on the beginning and at the end of the row, but I was thinking to make it more anatomical. I don't know how to say it, because anyways we are not staying like this with our arms straight, so we are staying like this most of the time, so to fall like in a natural way. Because this stitch pattern is super simple, so it's only half double crochet, and it was stretching, but because it was stretching here with the at the seaming, it was getting super bulky. It will get bulky because it is a wide sleeve, so a batwing sleeve, but yeah, I hope that it will work better. Then, to start with all things that you already know something about, then I was talking about I was showing to you the cardigan that my daughter asked for it, by the way. Yesterday I think she asked me, what about my sweater, when it will be done? And I was like, okay, I need to start working a little bit more on it, because it was one of the projects that I put it aside. But you remember from the last time that I wanted to change a little bit the fiber or add something in. I was starting to work with the Twister Solid from Hobby, and I was thinking that it would be nice to have like a fluffy thing, and I bought some kid silk mohair from Hobby as well, and I undid everything, and now I finished the back panel and I started working on the front panel. This time I changed a little bit the pattern, because with knitting I do try to improve my skills. I'm not professional or experienced knitter, although with construction it really helps my experience in crochet, because yeah, I can figure out what I need to do. So I did some decreases on the back, and then with the front panel I just started from the shoulder to pick up those stitches for the front panel. Although with the decreases at this shoulder, I was trying to figure out how to make them. Every time is the same, because I don't know from the beginning how to make them to lay nice and straight. So at the beginning I was doing them wrong, but then I kind of figured it out and made them correctly. So I'm about to, here I'm making a few increases for the V neckline shape, and I'm about to finish with them, and then I will continue with the rest of the length of the front panel, and hopefully I will have a bit more time to work on it. Now it's fluffier, it feels nicer. Well, my tension is not even because I'm working here and then with it. I noticed that if I'm constantly working on the same knitting project and not switching between crochet and knitting, then I'm most likely to keep an even tension. Otherwise, this is happening, but yeah, we're happy about it. What I don't have here, but I will say a few words about it, is the stripy sweater with mohair. I put it on hold. I am on the last section of the one sleeve, but I put it on hold because I just started to work on different projects. Now, the one project that I want to talk about, I don't even remember, but I think 2 weeks ago I posted this. It was just a trial, a swatch, let's just say, in a cable stitch pattern, and I was talking about it because somehow this is like with the same Twister Solid from Hobby that I was trying to use over here, and somehow I was thinking that this yarn might be too thick, the holes in next to the cables were too big. And I don't have a problem with holes, because even someone told me that you never seem to be bothered by holes, because most of your designs are flowy and with holes, holy. And I'm not. I'm really happy about it. Only that these holes that were in between next to the cables were looking like they distract from the cable pattern, or maybe it's the color, or maybe it's something. So someone gave me a tip that there are multiple tutorials on YouTube on how to avoid the gaps next to the cables, and I found something, and I tried it here for the last few rows in this swatch, and it's working. So the holes are not that big, but the idea was to work 2 stitches together next to the cable, and that is okay. So it's working. The holes are not that big, but in the same time is eating more yarn, because you are working 2 stitches instead of 1. So the cable patterns usually involves a lot of yarn than usual, and with my design my goal is not to, I don't know, to use that much yarn. So I had to figure it out on something else, and I had to try my original idea to start using a thinner yarn. And I ordered, I don't know how, I didn't find this before, this baby wool from Hobby, which is a fingering weight yarn, size 1, and I tried to use a thinner yarn. So I made a different swatch with this yarn, and from this swatch is how the current project that I'm working on took life, let's just say. So I was trying with the same cable pattern, and then I was thinking maybe if I'm adding more regular stitches in between the cable pattern, it will look better, so the cables will be more visible. And because I started from small, and then trying to add those stitches, I made these increases, and I said, this will work in a round yoke sweater, yay! So I started to work on a sweater, being super excited about this idea. I love the color, I love the structure, I love the small cables over there, and I started to work on a sweater. And this is how it's looking so far. And because it wasn't crazy challenging at all with all these increases, I said to try to work short rows on the neckline to make it lower than the front, lower than the back. And the thing is that I didn't avoid, because I was asked before with my patterns, round yoke or regular raglan, if I am working, I'm doing my designs like this with short rows, with this shaped neckline, and I was avoiding them, not because I didn't know how to make it or something else, but I didn't like the idea. Sorry, I didn't like the idea, because usually you can see in the round yoke patterns or top down patterns that they are using for the short row section the single crochet stitch, because it's easier to, it's a shorter stitch, so it's easier to go farther and make those short rows. But I didn't like the idea that the beginning of the sweater to be different, in a different pattern than the rest of the sweater. So, and it's another thing that with what I could see and what I was testing in different design, because I was trying to make this short rows, is that the back, it still has the boat shape. So somehow it is not like straight, you know, like this semicircle with the back straight and then coming with the round neckline in the front. So I tried, I think from last year or maybe even more, to achieve that shape of a neckline, but also to achieve it in a way that I can easily explain it and it has a logic, and it will be easier for everyone who's following a pattern to understand why we're doing like this. And I started with that idea, and yesterday I was filming the tutorial for the short row section because I didn't do that in the beginning with the sweater. And you can see that the back is straight, and then we have this nice shape over here with the rest of the sweater. And I love this idea. And now of course that this one on the original sweater is not, I think the second one is looking better, but anyway, let me show you how it fits. So ta-da! So this is how the sweater fits now, and the neckline is pretty close with the neck, but it's not uncomfortable because, as you can see, the back here is up, and you don't have, usually they are staying, how can I show you? Usually they are staying like this, so they are folding somehow, and with the front it's still getting higher and the back is getting lower, even if you are working those short row. And I cannot tell you how comfortable this feels. It feels so natural with everything, so I do like the idea. But this design is really challenging because I will have to figure it out how to grade this pattern for multiple sizes. I do have an idea, but I don't want to get to a different look of the stitch pattern. So I would love to keep the same number of stitches in between the cables by the end, and this means that I'm not allowed to do too many increases. Maybe I will add more stitches on the back, front and sleeves, but I will need to go to the math part of this design and to figure out everything. But anyways, I am super happy with this. It's a really I don't know how to say it. It's really addictive, let's just say. So I like it really much. So yesterday I was posting on Instagram and here on YouTube, asking, because there is a lot of work only for this neckline, short rows neckline. By the way, I do have an idea on how to give a pattern or instruction on how to avoid this. So if you don't want to get to be too challenging or difficult with the short rows, how to start with a normal neckline. And it took me like a few hours, I don't know, more exactly I think 3.5 hours just to film that section. Or anyways, the footage will be shorter, so hopefully I could fit in a with the video tutorial in good amount of time, not to get boring. And it's a lot of work with this, and I was asking if you would like to make this sweater, because I do love it. I do want to make it for me. I do want to wear it. I cannot wait to finish this, and I will finish it. But one thing is to make something, and another thing is to write a pattern, to grade a pattern, to make a video tutorial. So it's a lot of work. I think I will be working months, depending on how much time do I have to crochet and how fast I can finish the sweater. So I was asking if you would like to make this sweater, not to work on the pattern and see that in the end it was also just for me. I'm happy that the feedback is pretty positive and a lot of you want to make the sweater. I had a lot of requests to at least share a tutorial with the stitch pattern, and I'm working on that, and I think next week I will post the video tutorial for the stitch pattern. So I will, I hope that I know how to make that. I will share with you the link with the poll on my Instagram account, and I will be really happy if you go there and vote, because this will help me to decide what to do with this design. So yep, so these are kind of the things that I was working on. Now that I managed to film the neckline section, or the other things I already filmed them, I'm at the point where I finished a ball of yarn here, so I think I will go with one sleeve to see how the pattern is working over there. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I love this thing that I'm doing, because every time it's like something challenging happening. And remember that on our last chat I was saying that I have no idea what I will design next, what pattern I will release, and here I am. I found something, but I don't know if you like it. So let me know in the comments of this video as well if you like this design, if you would like to learn how to make it. Although I think the video tutorial will be a little bit long, because I have to explain all those things, but I hope you, in the end, you will like it, you will try to make it, and yes. Maybe now you're not feeling that confident, but I promise you that it's not that difficult as it looks. As long as you use stitch markers for the first section, and then you're getting used with the stitch pattern, everything will be perfect. Now, I don't want to make this video too long, because I don't want to get bored watching it. So thank you so much for being here for another chatting, crocheting, knit chatting, whatever I'm working on, listening to and see my projects and what I was working on. And see you next time. Bye!